Hey, what's going down tonight? Here we go. It is Friday again, episode 22. We're only 4 episodes away from doing this for 6 months. I can't believe it's been that long already. But yeah, I look forward to the Friday night shows. And without further ado, let's bring out Wentzilla.
What is up, man? How's it going?
I was doing the math today, and we are 4 episodes away from doing this for 6 whole months.
That's a long time.
That is a long time. Most shows only last a season, and I think we're past a season, but we'll keep on plugging away here as long as people come out. Check it out.
Man. No, we'll still be here even if they're gone. It's all right. We got nothing else to do on Fridays now.
Yeah, true enough, man. True enough. So let's bring out Famine. He's got a friend with him tonight.
Mr. Stark is here. He's hanging out with me. He wanted to be a part of it. So, Stark, you're on the show tonight.
Famine has his mystical background again, so he can be a mysterious toy creator of sorts.
I'm trying for the Chris Shaler, mystique of an artist here. I'm trying to, keep things under wraps until I just roll them out. So very exciting time.
Do a green screen behind you, man. Every week you could have like a new background.
Hey, real quick, here's my area not done all over there. So there you go. Yeah. I didn't blur mine.
You should think about blurring it. I'm throwing it out there.
Is that like a top? Is that like a
maybe
top
consider
secret?
That.
So it's all top secret behind you.
It's top secret for storytelling. I need it to when I roll it out. I need to roll it out all at once. So.
I see some frames. Like there's frames on the wall.
Oh, that's just pictures.
There's a lot of people in the comments here. We'll get to that. But tonight there was it's a 3,000 sub giveaway. So you were supposed to go back and figure out what my very first video on YouTube was, what the feature vehicle was, and I see them popping up here. So I don't know who got it first. We'll check that out later. But so first is you get 3 entries. The next 5 get 2 entries apiece, and then everybody else that makes a comment, you're going into the draw. I realize that you're going to copy probably the next person above, but the guys that got in there first got a way better chance of winning it. And it is that 3D printed white witch. So we'll touch back on that a little bit later on. I don't want to let my guest tonight or our guest tonight rot backstage too long. So I'm going to bring out, there he's turning around, Dystoypian Playgrounds. How's that, Famine?
What's up? Nice job. You got it right on the first shot. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Dude, I've been practicing since yesterday.
Can you hear me all right? Because I'm testing out a new headphones and
I wish you wouldn't shout, but we can hear you. I wish you'd stop.
Okay.
Yes, we can. You sound good.
The audio is great.
What's going on over there? And then we got a double header for you guys tonight because we're trying to get.
Family got so excited. He's like, "What,
dude? We made it like literally. How long have we been on air?
5 minutes.
Made it 4 minutes. We made it 4 minutes and 2 seconds without a dick joke. And
then, hey man, a double header's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
All right.
Well, serious business.
So,
fuck.
So our second guest for tonight is you all know him, Utah Don. What's going on with the camera?
Don, have you fallen? Are you okay, sir? Dude. Rotate your camera if you're okay.
How the fuck do I rotate this?
Just literally turn your camera physically.
It's like you're in outer space talking to us. You're floating around and shit.
What are you doing? Why?
That's gonna tip over in a minute.
Turn your phone horizontal, bro.
He was sideways.
That's what I did. This is horizontal.
What's
happening here?
Going on? It's forgot
to go this way.
YouTube Twilight Zone or something.
It worked last night. All right, we're just gonna do it this way. I don't give a shit.
That works.
Pretty easy around here, man. Don't you say a word, man. Don't you say a word. But anyways, yeah. So we got Dystoypian Playground show tonight. Thanks for coming out, guys. What's going on? What do you got? Tell. We'll start with Utah Don. You can tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, who the fuck are you, Don? Tell us who do you think you are?
Yeah, just nerd, I guess. I think of myself as more of a customizer than a collector, but I have a lot of toys and I break them and paint them and shit.
That's fair.
That's a good way of laying it out, man. So Dystopian Playground. What's yeah, tell the people about your stuff.
I'm pretty laid back. I'm just a lover of toys, and I've been making dioramas since grade school. Like if whenever there was a book report, we'd make a diorama. That's how you do it. You know, it's like this is the story, this is the scene from the story, and kind of went from there. So I was always just using toys and using miniatures and stuff to tell a story.
Right on, man. So where the hell did Winslow go? He took off on me. So before we get
going, he said he had to go get milk and cigarettes, and then he just bounced. So
maybe he's not coming back.
If anything, he'll turn up 25 years later and just be a disappointment. But that's neither here nor
there. I don't know. That worries me. That sounds like the last time I saw my dad. Man.
Same.
Oh shit.
Oh man, no, it's totally not true. Their audience. My dad only lives like, I don't know, 400 feet from me, so I see him all the time, way too much. So in the comments,
he can hear you.
Oh no, God no, dude. He would never want to hear me. But so in the comments, I think Starboy got the answer first, so he gets the 3 entries, man. And it was like this really crappy, like my old cell phone video of my very first custom I showed off on YouTube. It's like this Jawa AT-AT. It's all junked up and stuff like that. And there's like just some heavy metal tunes over it. So yeah, everybody that's getting it now, you guys got it, man. So I'm going to do the draw this week and then next week on the show. That's how YouTubers do it. Like we make you have to come back to do stuff every week so we get more views. So next week I will announce the winner and then we'll talk and figure out shipping and all that sort of fun nonsensory. But Famine, you wanted to show off some of your stuff before we get rolling into our guests. We're gonna make it all about Famine.
All about the hosts. Thanks for being guests, guys. But tonight's show is about moi. No, I've been banging out some customs this week, trying to populate what's going to be happening with Gimmick. I had posted the protocol droid, but I wanted to give a little bit of a better lit shot and show him off with some other things. He was a fun one to make. I think there's 4 different figures there all told. And just choosing that colorway, it looks like one of the arms was a Toy Pizza arm from the 5-point of articulation. Their pegs actually fit nicely into those like Build-A-Droid torsos.
I was going to ask if that was a Build-A-Droid kind of mashup.
Well, the legs and torso are actually from the Disney assassin droid from Kenobi.
Yeah, one jack.
But it is the Build-A-Figure torso. The ports are all the Build-A-Figure connections, but the Toy Pizza arm fit right in there, and then the other arm is a one of the sequel droids that was giant and blue, and I just took his arm because I liked that it was kind of like higher pitched. It looked like almost plate armor. Threw it on there with a 3PO head that socketed right in. This guy was inspired. I actually have a praying mantis that's been living outside over the dog's like run in the backyard right outside my kitchen window. And I play a lot of Fallout, so there's those annoying mantis creatures, and it kind of just came together, and I used the Treadwell droid and those arms. Somebody in the comments can tell me what those arms for. I won't tell you, but they came in handy, the extra pieces of those that I had. So I thought I'd make a little praying mantis, and he, maybe he rides around and picks things up and drops them in his little basket.
There you go. And I love this, the Gonk droid too. I love that.
Last but not least, I wanted just a plain utilitarian Gonk. I know a lot of people like go nuts with them, turn them into bar tables, have them, with pincers on the front and everything. But I just figured a nice utilitarian Gonk, weathered it up, did it in my signature dry brushing style, and I'm very happy with it. So it was a fun little few days of just banging out some customs, kind of mindless, just painting and trying things out, and that's what I got. So hope you guys like those.
I really like the coloring on those.
Thank you.
And fill the crew in. You do like a kind of like a charcoal sort of brushing, don't you, to get that weathering?
Those ones did not have any of the. I used the chalk. My goodness, the pastels, the chalk pastels. But those actually didn't get any of that weathering because I'll do a final pass after they're sealed with just some of that, so it sits there. But as far as I'm concerned, even if I didn't seal them, I'm very happy with them, and I'm really like what they look like. They turned out exactly what I was going for as I've been making these. So really happy with those, and I figured I'd share them with everybody before I make a post.
Right on, right on. And what happened there? There he is.
He's back.
So there's quite a turnout in the chat tonight. It's almost like we're giving something away tonight. So we got Toylak Tabletop. This Utah Don guy is in there again. And that's and you guys are eligible for the contest. I saw Don snuck an answer in there in the comments. You guys are definitely eligible for it. Justin Moyer, he just had his 4th grandkid tonight, so congratulations.
Mazel tov, congrats.
Bjorn's here, and
get in there and too sweet that baby. Start him early.
Yeah. Then Villain Zootopia. I think I said that right. I don't know. And then it's High Zone 5, right, Josh? Look, he's here.
That's a friend of yours. How do you know
High
that?
Zone.
And then so this guy, dude, we got to have you on the show sometime. I was on Toy Domination with him, and he makes some like crazy customs, man. He's got like this cool like acid rain, like crazy world that sits behind him. I don't know if you guys all remember him probably. We've all been on there. Timbo Toys. This is going to take forever. Here's one I haven't seen before. Triple D Outpost. I apologize if you've been here before. Maybe I missed you.
I hope that's diners and drive-ins and dives, and that's the Outpost, the Triple D. I hope it's all Guy Fieri customs, and it's just delicious space food. But anyway.
Delicious. Dude, that was wild. And then Adrian Forbes is here. Josh tried to traumatize him last time he was on the show.
Jesus Christ. Hey, why do you shake so much?
Red Canada, what's going on, man? Yeah, we got to work something out with your schedule to get you on the show too, man. Holy, we got Nebula's Nexus.
Giving away the answer.
Hey, shout out to Laura Thane. Oh, there he is again. Yeah, I just wanted to say, he's been taking some shots outside, and they're pretty fire lately, like the past week, the ones he's been dropping. So
my man just brings figures to the ocean, and he's like, oh, by the way.
Yeah.
And then just bangs out some amazing shots.
No doubt. This guy posts like I'll always laugh. He's like Mr. Meme on Instagram. I always laugh at his memes. So thank you, sir, for making me laugh almost every day. Well, where are we at now, man? It's like I'm sure I miss people in the comments, but there's like so many of them, and they're talking about some stupid like Jawa AT or something in the comments. I don't know what the hell that's all about. So
what's a Java?
Yeah,
like
a Java. It's a coffee dispensing AT.
Oh, I do want to. A coffee dispensing AT actually sounds fucking amazing. Speaking of coffee, I do want to throw a shout out to Jason. He got me this amazing fucking Jabba the Hutt mug, and it's the most ridiculous coffee vessel that I own. Currently, it's filled with alcohol, but I mean, just like it's Jabba the Hutt.
How do you drink it out of his ass? Like, how do you drink it? He's got a hole in his head. Okay.
Yeah, and the tail is actually sealed off, so you don't have to like get a bottle brush or any shit like that.
Oh, they can't have more coffee. You could fill his tail with coffee, dude, and be like, okay, coffee. But anyways, so you wanted to talk about this photo there, fam, and I didn't know this thing existed before we get into our guest here.
Yes. For those of you who are not following Dinosaur Dracula, he is a nostalgia poster. Strictly posts old advertisements, things he finds on eBay, old McDonald's artwork, you name it, he posts it. And he came across this, I believe it is a Sears catalog page of a playset that they had put together for, Empire. And these were the figures and the layout. And it's, again, like, I'm sure that people had cardboard cutouts and cardboard things like this, probably pages cut out of magazines and, you know, Mod Podge together, or back then it was just Elmer's glue. But this is a great example of play sets that came out way before that maybe inspired other people to build their own. So something really cool I saw, and these vintage advertisements are kind of being lost to time in most franchises because print media is starting to go. I actually got a Amazon toy catalog in the mail, like a physical toy. I was very shocked. There's not a lot of, like, you know, staged photos like this, like they used to do, but just the fact of getting a toy catalog in 2023 in the mail was shocking enough. But like, there's nothing like this anymore. So this was a really cool thing, and I thought I'd share that. Maybe it'll inspire some people to do, you know, we have a couple of members of the community that do cardboard bills, but this might like inspire somebody to do a painted backdrop on some cardboard and put it in their display. So I thought that was really neat. Dinosaur Dracula. Check him out on Instagram, Facebook, you name it.
There you go. But yeah, just back then, he used to doing those setups. Imagine, people think you're weird now for playing with toys. Could you imagine what they thought would think in like the 60s or 70s?
Who thinks
Like,
I'm weird? Who have you been talking to?
That was definitely 1980.
Yeah. Oh, Josh was telling me that he thought you were weird later, and
Well, that's because those pictures I texted him last night after I had one too many cocktails. I apologize. But you liked it. You hearted it, so.
No way. And then, all right, we're gonna do our creator shout-outs real quick here before family gets carried
Hey,
away.
wait, real quick. I also want to say, before anything. All right, so Outer Multiverse. He's on our post show. If you guys want to check out the Patreon, he's been on the post show. Well, he was on the one that's on YouTube, but he's also on the Patreon one from last week. He was weathering up some troopers. Everybody was doing some custom stuff. I was building Jason's doors and crates. We're doing stuff. So go check out the Patreon.
He says he was building them. I had to walk him through it step by step.
Yo,
you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it.
If you guys ever want a navigator, don't ask Famming because he was not helping me.
Oh my God. I say, place these two pieces together. They're like this. Josh goes, what? Put them together? I don't think they line up.
Sometimes I need more direction, bro. All right. Anyway,
something.
but shout out to Outer Multiverse. He always checks in too to make sure like I'm doing good the next day. Like he's like, oh, thanks for having me on. So I just want to say he's a very selfless person, and yeah, it's just awesome. So I appreciate him.
Yeah, we've definitely got, so Josh was on point there. He was like, I didn't even think about the Patreon yet, but yeah, go check out the Patreon. There's exclusive videos up there. There is a contest right now. If you join the Patreon, doesn't matter what tier. There's a Slave 1 unpainted there. Make a comment, say what color scheme, what faction. Around Christmas time, I'm going to I'll paint it up all exactly like the comment suggested, and then that person's going to win this like custom Slave 1, probably throw in a few 3D printed crates and droids and all that fun kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely go check that out. Bottom tier is $2. Next tier up is $8, and every 6 months you get like a World Maker's gift, like all 3D printed figures, like whatever is going in there. And then the top tier is $14, and that's a quarterly world building package, and so you get it every quarter instead of every 6 months.
And any of those tiers, any of those 3 tiers are cheaper than like if you guys saw us at a bar and you were like, holy shit, it's the World Makers Consortium guys. I want to buy them a beer. Like, any of those tiers is cheaper than buying us a beer, but it goes towards making more episodes. So you can hang out at home in your underwear if you want and drink your own beer. So, I mean, I'm just saying, consider subscribing and so you get something back and you contribute to the arts.
And by the time we start filming that, like my edibles are fully kicked in, so it's a little bit looser, a little more loose. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you, Famming, you stupid bitch, or like stuff like that. So
he said some things about my my
I was thinking though, what about a poster of like instead of like Slave Leia, we did like Slave Famine, and we do like for the Patreon where he's in the outfit, the Slave Leia outfit. And
you say that as though I won't do it.
Is it we get yays, nays?
I'm just sound off in the chat because if you guys, tell you
all
what,
I can think about is that classic like Burt Reynolds photo.
I'm putting this out there right now on the internet. It's recorded. Poor Don has to hear this. Poor Dystoypian has to hear it. Josh, Red, if we get 10 new subs that resubscribe until December. 10. It could be the $2 tier. I don't care. 10. January fucking 1st, I will have that Slave Leia costume on, and I will take a picture for you all. And
I'm so sorry.
Make stickers.
I'm so sorry.
But it's going to take the community, and I know it's tough. You know, it's us.
10. I feel like you want to wear it. We have to get 10 by then, but
baby girl, you better. They got to subscribe and then stay subscribed till December. 10 new subscribers, and I will make it. I will personally produce stickers.
Oh my God!
Wherever you want. If you don't,
I was just joking. It was just a
put
joke.
it on the back of their car. If you find where Josh lives and you want to put it on his mailbox, also an opportunity. But I will sincerely make that happen, and I will get stickers made. We will make this come to fruition. But we need 10 subscribers that are new through December. That's my.
The truth is, nobody in this community wants that. What they would buy, though, is an action figure of you in the costume.
You say that, and yet my DMs are already blowing up.
So that's what you have to have goals in life, man. You have to have goals. So I'll go and check the Patreon later, and it'll be 10 like subs from Famine. Different PayPal accounts and stuff like that. Famine, not Famine. Some other guy that's not Famine.
I've got a Jabba the Hutt that I can choke out. I'm just saying. Stark could be Salacious Crumb. I could have Stark sitting there. I'm just there's a whole photo shoot opportunity here. No, but seriously, guys, subscribe to Patreon. It helps the show, and it gives us the opportunity to do this where we have the option to have more guests on the screen. We can, Lord of Thane, you could just send the money directly to me. I'll put it in Patreon. We don't have to pretend, but it's cool. But enough rambling on. Me thinking about me in a bikini. Remember that tonight. Let's talk to Don and Dystoypian. Like, what's going on, guys? I guess we'll start with Don. What's happening, man? What do you working on lately? I know you've got a very sizable station, which we'll see some more of it, or layout. I don't know, however you want to refer to it. And you referred to yourself as more of a customizer than a collector. Tell us a little more about that. Let us know what you're working on.
Oh, real quick before he starts, can I just say, no, Utah Don, I have been following probably for a very long time. I think it was one of the first 3 and 3/4 I followed because I started up Star Wars 3.75. It's Kessel Aces 3.75 with my friend Colin, and he still runs it. I don't run it anymore, but Utah Don was on there every day. Like, we always were putting stuff up there. So it's a very small thing on Instagram, but if you guys tag it, they'll share your customs, but Star Wars customs. But anyway, go ahead, Don, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I've been customizing since probably the late 80s. Back then I had a bunch of Joes too, and I hated the fluorescent ones, so I would paint them camouflage. That's where I started customizing. And I never customized vintage Star Wars. I always had them, but I never customized them because they were sacred, right? And it wasn't until the Power of the Force 2 line came out and places like Rebel Scum and I don't know if anybody remembers the Ferg forum, FFURG, I think. It was an old customizers forum. I was pretty active on both of those places, even in the late 90s, making action figures. And I just never stopped. So I have hundreds of customs, and I eventually figured I need a place to put them all. And so that's what happened here with the outpost, the station, whatever. It's expanding too. I'm building a place for ships now. The corner shelf. Yeah, so it used to be an IKEA shelf. It was an IKEA Calyx, and I added a back to it, which is all the pink insulation foam, and a lot of the arches and stuff a lot of the back stuff is insulation foam. I've repainted it a couple times. The Jabba section is recently repainted because I wanted to add Jabba the Hutt to it. Just every day add something to it. Every day a little bit more.
Well, tell us about those. We talked last night for a bit during the test, but so what do you got going on the bottom there? I thought this was the smartest idea ever.
Yeah, so I have like storage behind that bottom shelf. There's some containers in there with, I don't know, gribbles and junk and parts and 3D prints that I haven't done anything with. there's just a bunch of stuff behind that facade, and I built that little facade to sort of hide the storage, but still keep the storage. So that bottom level, I still plan on doing some graffiti, some more like greebles and pipes and wires and stuff down there. Maybe even some flashing lights eventually.
Yeah, Lockdown, he kind of did that with a lot of his crates too. Like it's really been getting me. I was looking on Pinterest actually for like different crates, like people made Star Wars crates is what pretty much you look up. It's like different like coolers, storage bins, but they've really like gone all out on them.
Yeah,
just a cool way to hide things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are inspired by Galaxy's Edge that make Rubbermaid crates into storage for their armor, for their Star Wars pieces. And it would apply itself, I'm sure, to this if you were going to do the crates. But like that was so cool. And Don, you said that there's their facades there. Your back of the Calyx cabinet is pink foam. Are the bottom ones are pink foam as well, right?
Correct. That's right. It's all just foam. It's so easy to work with. I don't have to go out to the garage and use a saw. I can just cut it in the office. Minimal work, minimal mess, super easy. It does stink a little.
Oh yeah, but and I love that hidden storage. Like mine, I've got everything on tables, and then I just bought literally like any flag that I see. Well, with the exception of some flags you shouldn't hang up. I just use those to skirt my entire setup, so it you can just cram stuff under the tables. It gets ridiculous.
That's a good idea too. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a fine line between a collection and hoarding, and some of us have crossed that line. I've seen some of you hoarding, and maybe not you guys specifically that I'm talking to, but some of you in the comments are hoarders, not collectors. And I didn't want to
say rad.
I worried about that a little bit. I don't want it to look sloppy. I don't want it to look like just a pile of shit in my home office. So
I wish you would mind your
shitty
business
part.
and stop looking at my workbench, okay?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know I was going to get called out by the guest tonight.
And I know some of what I do is maybe hoarding.
This is just an
because I have a lot of parts.
For a few of us.
Yeah.
Poor Dystoypians down there like, oh, hoarding. Yeah, boxes.
I got to turn my camera off because.
Yeah, man, you need to open some of those toys.
Yeah, I didn't want to subject the community to my basement. That's just wall-to-wall toys.
With that, let's jump over to Dystoypian. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us what you got going on, man.
Well, like I said, I've been collecting for years. For the most part, I've kept almost everything I've had since childhood. There's just a few moments in like college where it's like, well, I guess I got to pay tuition, so this cool stuff's got to go on eBay or find someone to buy it. But most of the stuff that I think I've gotten rid of over the years, I've gotten back, and then more so. And I've never meant to like flex some of the photos online, but I mean I'm guilty of the troop building thing, or like, okay, well I have this ship, but then I could also have like 10 of that ship. So but I do a lot of garage sales and flea markets and rummages and collector shows. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So between Milwaukee. Yeah, Wisconsin. And when between here and Chicago, we have some of the biggest toy shows. So there's nothing you can't find. It just comes down to price and if you have the space for some of the stuff. So, but as far as the customizing, I've tinkered for years, and it wasn't until I think the past few years that I made contacts on social media with a lot of people more talented than me, and learned a lot of tricks and learned a lot of resources. So just been following other accounts. Instagram's been great because every day something else pops up, and then you kind of get inspired, and it gets added to the list of projects. So I would say probably about 20. What was that?
Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say I lose track on Instagram because I have Amrex Spot and Wenzilla, so I'm like, I don't know who I'm following from which things sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's why I mail you those Polaroids. I don't know why you.
That's why I only have one site.
Well, I just wanted one that was separate from my 112 and 1.6 stuff, but I still because I just had so much. I was like, I can't post 6 times in a day. Well, I can, but it wasn't helping me algorithm wise. So I mean, I still post a lot in a day sometimes, but yeah, I 2's easier for that.
Yeah,
I don't
separate
know.
accounts it makes sense, but also I feel like I'm not worried particularly about the following. So right now I don't have like a difference between the Yak Bard Outpost and Dystoypian Playgrounds.
So
It's just sort of
Pablo,
it's just on the same account right now. So I'm trying to migrate to posting less of just the arbitrary toys and more of just the shots. But you know,
yeah, I wanted
it's the same
Wentzilla's to be
small
like,
group of people that likes my stuff anyway. So as long as they're still interested, that works for me.
yeah, I just
Yeah,
wanted
I
like
have the same thing going on. It's the
like
same small group every time.
yeah, I wanted my main page just to be kind of more of a gallery of my stuff, like in
Yeah.
past stuff and current stuff, and then 118, all of my 118 stuff, like even like the work stuff on the workbench. I just wanted to have a place to put all that because I used to enjoy doing that, but I was like, I was doing the same thing so much. I was like, it just looks like the same thing over and over. So I just wanted to put up new things that I've came up with, but. Yeah, there's a bunch of different reasons why people have 1 or 2 pages. So, anywho, back to your stuff, man.
I was going to
Dystopian,
say
are you
But I was-
3D printing too, or are you just casting stuff?
I do both. So I started FDM printing in 2000. It might have been all the way back in 2017. I'd have to double check, but I got trying to think of the company. They're defunct now. It's one of those things where it's like all these companies were trying to make their printer, and the worst part about it was they were cloud based. So once the company went under, like you couldn't connect anymore to slice
Oh shit!
files.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
it became a brick, and then somebody clued me into Creality. So I was like, okay, this seems pretty solid. So I bought 2 of those right away, and we were running them 24/7, doing droids and doing like cosplay costume parts, and just kind of went from there. But I had been molding and casting since probably about 2005.
oh wow,
Nice.
that's crazy. Yeah, I don't
And
know anybody else.
I don't want to say I'm great at it, but I'm familiar enough, and I know the best way to do it. It's just
He's pretty good at it. Is what he's trying to say.
Yeah. He's pretty good at it.
It depends. It depends what you want your product to be. I mean, you can put something in, degas the mold and degas the castings and make something that's bubble free, perfect. But a lot of times I don't mind making a few castings that look good enough, because I usually kind of go at the surface and rough stuff up and paint them. And
But yeah, the imperfections are part of the Star Wars aesthetic.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, those mistakes are part of what makes it great.
I didn't bring them out here, but I have a few vending machines I've been working on, and basically what I do is I go over the top with those. I'll CNC machine a lot of the master part, and then I'll mold that using silicone, and then make urethane castings from it. But with a machined
Holy
edge,
shit.
everything ends up being so clean. So that back door in that picture right there, that's I have like a metal version of that, and then I molded it because I don't need to make it out of metal every time. But I want
sick, man. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to be like perfect as far as edge, and then every time I cast one, it almost doesn't matter how it turns out, because it's like, well, this is a door that guys have been beating on for however many years, and then here's a door where it's like, oh, they built this place last week, so it's nice still.
That's cool.
Yeah.
To your point about the imperfections being part of Star Wars, people who are so detail oriented in the cosplay community, they'll go after master helmets that are recast, and there's provenance to the original molds where you can see fingerprints from the maker.
Really?
Who the A New Hope Vader has a fingerprint on his cheek that I believe it's his cheek that you can see on the HD transfers, and people who get
crazy.
helmets that are cast out of those original molds or like the stunt versions and stuff, they chase the provenance of that little fingerprint detail.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Or just like
Yeah.
on Boba Fett, like a slight denting that's only from the original helmet from Empire, well, from Jedi. And you know, it's interesting, like the imperfections become part of the legacy. The same with people wanting a Graflex lightsaber that still has the English writing on it and the screws, is because they want that piece that's the exact
The Phillips screw.
yeah, the Phillips screw. That they don't have screws in Star Wars.
Yeah, and then in the
that.
meantime, when I try to paint something and I realize sometimes I'm a shitty painter, but it turns out in a way that works in the Star Wars universe.
I want to bring that up, but yeah, this is actually a brilliant invention. It was Dystoypian's idea, and Josh chimed in, so I showed up.
Yes, some of that really works, though. Some of those mistakes are the best things you can do.
Well, I've done it too, where I 3D printed something and I had an issue where the filament wasn't feeding right, and I was printing a brick wall, but so it missed a odd layer. But I'm like, hey, that's perfect. Like it looks more like a brick wall now than like this smooth, like 3D thing. You know what I mean? I just did it with a 1/12 Cobra battle bunker I was printing for my classified, and I was like, actually, that looks better than like it being smooth. So sometimes you get happy accidents.
I was just gonna say that.
Happy accident.
Son of a bitch.
Is that another Star Wars show that's coming out?
What did Bob Ross say? I'm not very good at it, but it's okay.
Yeah. Bob Ross gave zero fucks, man. He was just like, he's probably
RIP.
painting little. Yeah, I guess he's gone now. But he's like probably just standing there.
You guess. You know something we don't.
Went to know him personally.
I didn't. Uncle Bob? No.
Uncle Bob.
Don, ball busting aside, you're a really talented painter and you do a really good job. So.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
So, Dystoypian, we got a few pictures here that we'll run through, and then we'll bounce back to Don. And you can just kind of lay them out for us.
I love the lighting in that shot.
Taco Baco.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, this one is it goes back to an old joke. This is when my daughter has not always been a teenager, but when she was younger, my wife and I would always joke about like different restaurant names, and we would always call it Taco Baco because we saw like a meme online where somebody like made the logo, and I don't know what the correct term is for spoofing all the logos, but she actually thought it was called that at one point. So I'm like, I gotta make this building. This has to be part of the outpost, so that if the kids want to come back here and see stuff sometime, there's Taco Baco, which is
I know in television,
becoming a real place.
Yeah,
in television, outside the Binko.
It does.
It does say Tinkle outside the Binko.
In TV, when they do things like that, where they just like change the lettering or change like the verbiage of a store, it's called Greeking, where they kind of like go in and just change.
Hey man, I don't like that. Be easy. I don't know.
It makes the letters look familiar enough, but if you tried to read it, it would be like reading Greek. You might not know how to do it. And it's called Greeking on the set, and that's a similar thing. Like instead of Burger King, it could be Kurger Bang, or you know what I mean? Like they just go in with the same color marker or paint or whatever and change up the words, and that's just like that. Like Taco Baco is brilliant because your eye will go
if you Google some of them, there's McNaldo's too. Instead of McDonald's, it's McNaldo's. So they're switching letters and flipping stuff, like transposing logos or putting something sideways or whatever. But this one pretty cool because I like taking shots that have multiple people's work in it. So this has got like some Toy Alliance stuff. It's got the Grime City bins. It's got one of my doors.
I love those bins.
Again, that's something that's machined. So and then that's a urethane casting, and there's some Empire Toy Works stuff in there, and then I think Playmobil and a couple other things.
Oh no, it's quite a mix, but yeah, it looks great, man.
Yeah,
his work is really cool because it's almost like a like a limited run where he does however many pieces he's going to do, and they all have kind of unique graffiti or unique weathering. So it's like multiple people might have them, but yours
Dude.
is unique.
Justin. That's great.
Saw that, it's not the tinkle he's worried about.
This shot here, I know a lot of us will just do like simple head swaps or, put in like a familiar figure, but the Quarren fishmonger there, he's made up of like 6 or 7 figures, and I kind of just, it was one of those things I didn't plan, and I wasn't really inspired by anybody else for that one. It was just like, okay, here's some parts, and I got to use them. They were all like figures that were from a flea market, and I'm like, okay, let's see what we can do with it.
Are those
yeah,
arms?
that's my kind of custom right there. Kit bashing.
Yeah.
Are those arms off that really awkward Rebel Endor trooper? They look so familiar.
I think those arms are actually the Hoth Luke.
Oh, okay. So they did awkward things more than once then, I assume.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bro,
There's
did you
this
see
Rebel-
the buff figures, man? They get awkward with it. They get awkward.
Yes.
Super awkward. So what do we got next here for a picture?
This was this is a droid shop called the Blown Motivator.
Blown motivator.
Cameron, do you have anything to say about that?
I thought this was a family show. That's
I was thinking in my head, instead of smooth operators, like blown. What was it again?
Blown Motivator.
Blown motivator. Yeah.
Motivator.
Look at that. We got a whole series going now.
Yeah, well, we will let you buy that theme song off of us.
When we were talking yesterday during the test, I was talking about having notepads and lists, and sometimes they're on my phone, and sometimes they're just arbitrary, where it's just like, oh, here's a notepad, what's on here, and then it'll just have a bunch of projects or a bunch of ideas I had last year, and then I find them like, maybe I can do one thing off of this list, but I do have a list for the Outpost of just all the different, not like facilities, but like stores or brands or just ideas where it's like, oh, if there's space and I need to put something, it's like, well, maybe that's where the restaurant where they, are serving the Mon Calamari are serving Mon Calamari, and you name the place, it's a trap or something.
Do you have a logo? Is there a logo for that store?
For the Blown Motivator?
Yeah.
I don't have it. I don't have it finalized yet. I tried a few things, but a lot of times with my work, I'll like do something and I'll sort of like set it aside and come back to it the next week and figure out if I hate it or not.
Because I have a droid shop. It's not as cool as yours, but I have a droid shop, and I would put a sign up if you have one, so it could be in both worlds or whatever. You know what I mean? I do like that idea, and I've talked with a few of the other guys about having like similar customs or like some sort of reoccurring theme where it's like, it's like you have a franchise or something where it's like, you got a Blown Motivator. We just got one of those last week.
Yeah, crossover signage. We need more crossover signage.
Yeah,
and you know where you can find that is AmRack Spot on Instagram, and it's in the highlighted stuff right above.
I definitely have some beer at the Outpost and a Pinker Station. I have a Pinker Station sign too.
You're gonna hear about Barbados now. Go ahead, Josh.
And there's also Barbados. Yeah, that's also up there. Yep. Barbados.
We need more like that.
And then there's also the pinups. If you guys haven't seen Squirty Beaver.
Yeah, I'm not putting that in my Outpost. I have a marriage I need to hold on to.
It's pretty cool. It's safe. It's fine.
Safe material to look for.
How long is this show? I just finished my second drink.
We got as long as you want. We can go all night,
baby. As long as we want. No one can stop us.
How long you got?
But yeah, so all that stuff, if you guys want any of it, it's in the highlights. I also should put up some of AmRack soon in the highlights. I think I did. I'm not sure. But yeah,
we need
whatever you
more
guys
like
want.
that. We need more people making stuff like that.
What the heck
Yeah.
is that?
The fucking
What
spaceship.
is
dude.
this?
Ever seen one before?
Looks like a ship.
What's the goddamn ship?
Oh, I know what that is.
Um,
That's the escape one from the Ben 10 or whatever the heck it was.
Something
Literally.
like that. I wish I knew. This is an instance
have
where
it.
people will ask me like what that is, and a lot of times I'm just going up to the thrift outlet and like any toys that are in the bins because you're only paying like $1.29 a pound. I'll be like, I'm grabbing these toys, and they either get modified or cannibalized or whatever. And that's just one of those where it's like I paid nothing for it, so I figured
Here,
it fit the
right here.
scale, and yeah.
Oh, you got one.
There's a bigger version too, or I mean, I'm sure it's been
Yeah,
made in multiple
this
scales, but
this slides into the one that I have parked. It's so big I would knock over a bunch of clones, but yeah, so this little guy goes inside of him. It goes inside of him.
Is the back of it almost like it looks like a pickup truck, so that thing can park in it?
No, it slides in so it's like part of the ship. Like it bubble, the bubble is still out. Like it looks like it's more. It just super modes the ship is what it looks like.
Okay, I get you.
Just more armor, baby. Baby. Sorry, I got really excited when I saw that. I dramatically threw my headphones down and everything. Anyway, moving on.
this is Bongo the Hut, who is
No doubt. Look at his eyes.
Oh, I see some
There's
Starboy
no,
in that picture.
Yep. So there's no real government, and I think that might be a theme for a few people's outpost or station. There's no government. It's just kind of rules that it's like, well, nobody breaks the rules. So
that
you're
rug
good.
is the coolest thing in there. That thing's awesome.
You know what's funny about that is I had gotten like a lot of like dollhouse scale stuff.
They make the best drinks.
Oh.
Dollhouses or
dollhouse scale. Dollhouse scale liquor bottles and dollhouse scale beer, like cans and cups.
I'm just if you want some dollhouse scale, some good 118 scale stuff, hit up Aegis Station because he's got some really cool shit. He just sent me a whole goddamn handful of bottles.
Yo, language.
Nice.
I will say the F word in public. Don't you make me do it.
Dystoypian, are you back?
I think so. I must have cut out. I don't know what was the last thing.
Yeah, you did. You're not even in the same position anymore.
You wanted to switch spots with Don.
It's just like
I don't want to be last. I'm gonna disconnect the reconnect.
Anyway, long story short is a lot of the stuff it's like I'm getting it from different lots, so I'll go through it and be like, oh, that rug, I don't know, it fit,
I like it. Looks good.
What's going on over there, fam? Are you gonna make it, bud?
I just watched Josh's eyeballs fucking come out of his head because of his ear.
That's an Empire Toy Works couch, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was IKEA. I thought that was IKEA furniture there.
Correct.
Hey,
yes. Empire gets them from IKEA and just repaints them.
If you guys ever want to see Chris do an interview with someone in the community, come check out the Wednesday of the Reboot on YouTube. There's an interview with Chris, and we hang out in Rock Gut.
I remember watching that one at one point. What year was that from?
Oh boy, it was a little bit ago.
Is that on MySpace? You said it was.
No, it's not MySpace. Hey man, he said he wants to come on here, but he's not good at messaging and communicating. Like when we set that up, I couldn't believe it all linked together, and like he got on there, and it was the only one I've ever done from Skype, and it looked like shit. So the first 5 minutes, there's no video, but it's our audio, and usually I use StreamYard. Always use StreamYard. Well, for some reason, it wasn't working. It was years ago, so it had some issues. So I was like, oh, Skype will be fine. And it was dog shit. I was like, no, dude. But
Good old StreamYard, man. Good old StreamYard.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It was a couple years ago, but hopefully we can get him on a round table, man, so everybody can pick his
That
mind.
would be awesome, yeah. All right, going up next.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Chilling like a villain.
That looks like a mall court, like
Yeah,
you
it
go to
does.
a mall and there's that weird corner of the mall where there's fucking nobody. Like that.
I always
Yeah.
like
not
seeing
saying there's
plants in
nobody there, but
dioramas
just-
too.
It looks like that area of the mall where there's just like a plant and a random vending machine, and
Yeah.
And
That
who,
part of
who
the-
goes there besides like security and then a few mall walkers? It's like what's down
Yeah.
here?
I have a
It's a
feeling.
little
There could be,
clean too. It's like it's clearly a new mall, not an old mall.
Yeah. Okay, what are we looking at
is
here?
that a trouble bowl?
That's what I was wondering.
No, it's like a adventure people, like a Fisher Price.
Oh.
And I
Oh,
forget which subline it was,
It's a
but
submarine, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But-
Crafty son of a bitch.
But yeah, I
Oh,
just kind of it looks like it's floating, but it's actually sitting. It's like balancing on a block just enough to look floating, and then it's got one of the Empire. I
You
think it's an
should have
Empire,
just
like
you
cargo.
should have just not told anybody. and just
Yeah,
said
no,
floating.
it's floating. I
He's-
believe it's floating.
It's floating.
He's
It's
given-
mystery.
it's an ACBA trick. You know what I mean? Camera
Yeah.
angles. You hide the support.
Yep.
I love it. That's good.
And Lord of Thane here, yeah, definitely we will talk about having you on the next roundtable.
I think
Since
he
you
wants to
stay
be
up
on the
every
round
week.
table with Chris Shaler. All right.
Oh, I want that one too.
Okay, guys, there's only so many spots.
Nay, wait. No. Here's what we
Enter you
do.
in a raffle.
No, here's what we do. So, we have the Patreon, and if we get enough stuff, then we can get, or we can have more people in here at a time. We have everyone pay $1,000 for a spot for a
And then we
chair.
And then we can pay Chris to be on the show.
Yeah,
Then he'll come on for sure.
it's like an hour of my time. I can sell how many dioramas for $750 in that much time? So
Seriously.
Go
that's
Dan.
so good.
Okay, where are we at now?
Oh, I like that floor. Is that cut in or painted?
That's cool. Yeah.
So it's like one of those pine, like you can get them. I don't want to name like a general hardware store, but you can buy like the
You
edge
get a
glued
kickback,
pine
so
like
if you-
round boards, and
If
it's
you
cut
name
in
it,
there,
Yeah.
and then it just kind of traced over. So like it is cut in, and then a little bit of pen or paint or
Yeah.
whatever,
That's better though.
and then
cut-
just touched
You
up.
get the
So
you get the depth with that. That's rad. It looks great.
That is cool.
No, he's
Yeah.
rad.
Oh yeah, I'm
Thanks.
right. I forgot.
I knew you were gonna fucking say that.
It's because we practiced the show before, but you would, if you stay.
We
stay
did.
for the
I've been
entire
holding on to that
rehearsal-
joke all night.
If you stay for the entire rehearsal, Josh, you would know.
Hey, I made it on time today.
I was
Oh, look, a
proud of
Rhodian.
No one says shit when you make it on time, do they? Nope. No, they don't. It's always when you're late.
That's
Bunch
true.
of bull. I like this. Now, where'd you get that from? Is that Playmobil?
which
The dentist? stuff?
so one of these pieces is a Playmobil piece, like the drawers, but the
Okay.
rest of it was the chair. I have no idea. I actually got that in a Micronaut slot, so I don't know
Ooh.
if that's what the chair is from. And then the actual dentist portion, I got off AliExpress. It was like like the Japanese little bubble machines, like
gotcha
that.
machines, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I like it, man.
it's just an import, and when I looked it up, like I was like, well, it might be now or never, because some of those, once they get discontinued, they're just like gone forever. So
Dude, yeah, that's like holy cow, man. That's
Hey, did you get the shout out, Utah? You see the shout out?
Somebody just
No, what
shouted
did I
out in the
miss?
chat, man. People were
Come
losing
here.
their minds.
Kid Kosher, man. Big kosher gave you.
I am responding. I am responding in the chat, but it's all about alcohol.
Well, I've got good news for you, Don, because it's your turn to show us what you got here.
What are we drinking tonight, Don? What do we got?
I really did finish my second drink, and they were both Negronis. So gin, Campari, and vermouth, and it's probably my favorite cocktail. My wife really loves a margarita, and I'm with her on that, but the Negroni kills.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck you just said. I'm just gonna be honest.
Just
Like-
Google Negroni.
I like to make up words too.
It sounds like baloney. No, let's go back to this.
So we've already seen your setup dealio here. So
Let's go to the other corner. Where's the
down
other-
into
Oh,
So
there
that
we go.
picture is one of the newest portions of the outpost. Like I added the Boba Fett's throne room. That is not Boba Fett's throne room. It's Jabba's. And you can see that, there's a bunch of customs in there. I added some lighting. I painted the whole throne room. I cut into the back of the outpost into the foam in order to scooch the throne room back a little bit
some depth
to give it a
yeah.
little more space. Yeah.
that's awesome.
That's really good, man.
Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good.
Oh,
That's the top level. That is all customs. I think there's 2 Gamorreans in there that aren't customs, but everything else is customs, including the custom Mama the Hutt, and that's all her guards and friends and weirdos and stuff.
This reminds me of like a school year picture. Like, you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
That was sort of the goal.
That's
like
so
put everything
cool.
in one picture. Yeah.
And then you could do one every year with like,
Yeah.
dude.
Yes. Add
That's
more
so cool.
customs every year.
Don,
That's so
are those all the way to the right of the photo? Is that Predator masks with the
100%. It is. Yeah. And those are old. I don't remember the name of the company. They were Japanese, like pop together kits.
Oh,
okay.
Some of them might be Haya. Some of them might be whatever that Japanese company was called. I have parts from decades back, and I don't remember where it all comes from.
oh,
Yeah,
oh.
that's really cool.
look at the rugs?
Yeah, I know. I love it.
Yeah, so that's 2 different like casino tables. I don't even. One of them I think is Moff Gideon, and the other one is maybe Trash Compactor. I don't even remember, but I painted them up.
Purple is definitely Moff Gideon's.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, you just pile up a bunch of figures. You can see there's some Imperials gambling across the table from some rebels. This palace is the one place where they interact because there's rules about that shit.
Thank you, Pablo. Hey, make sure you guys check out Pablo's. I think they're taking next Tuesday off, but they do a toy photography show, Maz Toy Box.
I'm not going to do that.
Maz is the host. I was actually featured this week on there. Also, Eddie Figs, who you always see, he was featured this week. And also, JP, who is one of the Toy Mercs, he was featured this week, who was also on our live on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Instagram, Skeletons Tomb.
We are
Anyway.
all Toy Mercs.
We are all Toy Mercs, but he represented Toy Mercs Wednesday night. But yeah,
Most of
Shout
my
out to
photography
Pablo.
I do is a little shot, like these 2 or 3 characters interacting. But these photos I took for sharing are kind of pulled back so you can get a better glimpse of like the wider perspective, I guess.
Were you trying to like get into Star Wars magazine or something? Like this is ridiculous. Like this
is
I'm
awesome.
not even joking. Like this is like some shit you'd see in Toy Fair, or like when Star Wars used to do like the features of people who made customs or had dioramas in their homes. Like that type of shot where it's everybody. You've got aliens, you've got Imperials, you've got rebels, you've got normal characters, all inclusive, but it's a tangible scene. Like that's something from a comic or something from
it has.
shows,
You have
Cartoon
definitely your own mood, like your own. You know what I mean? Your own tone going on.
Tone. That's a good way to describe it.
It sounds weird, but the last couple of pictures are giving me a total like market in like I think Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of vibe, like that.
Like I want to see this movie type of shit, man.
Yeah. No, it's got this like kind of like
I want to see this movie.
You are this movie.
It's like I like looking at that scene. I know what's going on there, but Dr. Aphra stands out to me, and it's like knowing about that character. I'm like, oh, she's up to some bad shit.
She's up to some shit. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of depth in this shot. Tons of depth.
That's so great. Find a bunch of heads out of a bucket.
Yeah, maybe the next picture. There's a bunch of Rhodians building a bar, and this shot is no. You went to the casino.
Son of a bitch, you're out of control.
Rad, come on, bro. You got one job.
I can only see the slides like in tiny little mode here. So.
You know what? You're disorganized. That's why.
Whatever. Fuck it. We already talked about this one though. What's next?
Let's talk about the hangar.
Yeah, so it's a mess. The pit droids are in charge of the rebuilding, and so there's parts everywhere. And those parts, they're parts from model kits, like whatever I thought looked cool. I think there's some parts from like a broken pen that I had in my office. I don't even know. There's so much shit in this photo that's been repainted and just chucked in there.
Oh, no.
That's
I love how,
dude, that's the way to go.
Mine is crispy clean. My hangar.
No. Star Wars is a mess, and your photos need to be more of a mess.
Mine isn't Star Wars specific, man. I mean, the hangar.
Right. That's true.
The hangar is very Star Wars, right? Because I got 3 X-wings and all that jazz. But
yeah,
it's
mess it up.
No, I got
here's
glass
the bar.
floor. There's glass on the floor, man. You gotta dust it.
Yeah, here's the bar. There's a bunch of Rhodians building a bar. I have plans for 2 different bars. One's on the casino level and one's on the Jabba level. And they're going to have, individual lighting. There's going to be a lot of detail going into those bars. It's a big project.
Is that
the Ugnaught was buying parts from the Jawas for that bar. Sorry, say that again.
Do you have that a hut skull in the back from those little science kits or whatever?
Yeah, whatever that science kit thing was called, I don't remember. I had to buy 3 or 4 of them before I got the huts.
Yeah.
But yeah, that skull is the perfect size. Eventually, it'll be mounted on the wall on this level.
Those got discontinued before I really knew that they were out there, and I tried to track them down, and they were like on.
Oh yeah, they're pricey now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
No, and I think you do this really well. Like this, they're working on it. Like Lord of Thane does it really well too, and he's been in the comments. But as they're working on it, type of shots, like I'm trying to do that with the arena, but it's really hard to make it look nice while you're working on it. You know what I mean? And I think you do that. It's really well done. Like
it's kind of fun. Just take some Rhodians and some Ugnaughts maybe, and throw them in a shot with some LED lights that aren't even installed yet. It's fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So this is on the other side of the hangar on the same level. It's more like a warehouse level. So I think there's some Empire Toy Works boxes in there. There's definitely some Empire Toy Works food in that shot. And then whatever other things I've built or bought or whatever, 3D prints, lots of painted stuff in this shot. Off to the left, the far left, there's some Coca-Cola bottle caps, the orange and gray. Those are 2 Coke bottle caps glued together and then repainted, and now it's a barrel.
That's a cool idea. And like you said, like I love how your all your worlds have that really like super lived in look. It's like,
yeah, the oil.
Oh yeah, it's a fucking mess. Yeah. This is up on the top level again. I got the band and some like felt that I just cut into interesting patterns to be a weird looking carpet rug fur thing.
Love it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a really
Is that coated with anything, or is that just how it's sitting?
I glued it down.
You didn't mod. Oh, you glued it. Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to lay right, so I glued it down.
Okay.
Oh, okay. No, that's a cool. I would never ever have thought of that for like a fur rug.
Yeah, felt really works. It's got a great texture for this scale. This is the other bar. It's from Red Flare models, and off to the left in that shot, there's a bunch of his like Batu inspired drink dispensers. I have a whole
Ooh.
plan for this. It's going to be complicated. And it's going to have underbar lighting. I've already ordered some stuff from, I don't even remember the name of the site right now. Evans Designs, maybe?
That's awesome. Yeah. That'll look
Yeah,
great.
it'll be good.
Yeah, when
Wow.
the bar's all lit up underneath, that's like gonna look so
It's going to be sweet. Yeah, so this is the casino level again, but very middle. Those green tables, those are shot glasses, plastic shot glasses from
Yeah.
Walmart. And I just repainted them, and they're the perfect size for figures to drink from.
I was
they're
gonna say
awesome.
they look like some sort of cup.
Yeah, they're
I
shot
thought,
glasses.
I thought they were mouthwash, the top of a mouthwash container.
Yeah,
That
something
would
like
work
that.
too.
They're like perfect bar height tables. That's awesome.
Yep, bar height standing tables. And then this is the middle level on the bottom. On the right side of this is the A wing hangar, and on the left is the warehouse. And then this is a little central area with a little food court.
Okay, I gotta ask
Okay.
though. Like, it seems like every level of your station has a bar on it. I think you might have a problem.
Yeah, I think I might have a problem.
You joke. I live in a small town, and there are 3 bars on Main Street within 500 yards of each other. So the fact that there's bars on different levels, man.
Yeah,
I live
it
in
makes sense to me.
the number like 1 bars per capita in like not the world, but in the United States. So yeah, I'm with you, man. They're everywhere.
Josh
Like,
actually
mean-
has 2 bars in his bedroom. It's really weird, but
I sort of imagine the outpost as this place that Jabba lived when he wasn't at the palace. It's like the in-town place, right? So there's casinos and bars and shipping and smuggling and probably some human and alien trafficking. It's problematic. But like all of the money coming into this place is from those enterprises, from gangster related shit. So I built it around bars and
So
that
there's
kind of
no
thing.
daycare level.
Fuck no.
Yeah, you can't have the
Sad. I got
though.
little kids got to figure shit out on their own, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
There are some kids. If you went back to that last shot of the like basement food court, right in the front, in the middle, those are kids trying to buy some food. There's a couple of
That's-
Rhodians and
That's one
Yeah.
of those things I was going to compliment you on. Is number one. It's not necessarily a knock on anybody, but a lot of people try and be like Empire Toy Works. They try and light their stuff. I used to be guilty of it too.
Every time you say that, people get mad.
That's fine. Truth hurts sometimes, but people tend to emulate the things that they enjoy, and your shots are all very well lit. They have closer to natural lighting than you would expect for this type of
Mhm.
photography, and you include all of your shots can kind of tell a story for the viewer, even if you didn't intend it to. And I don't know if that's like a passive way that you set things up that you just naturally create. But anywhere I look in this story, I could, at the scene, I could tell a story about that character based on
Yeah.
what everybody else is doing. That's so unique. And also, you have one of those instances where everybody can get to everywhere through your station. You have doors that lead to other things. The rooms connect. That's a really cool thing to see. So I wanted to call that out.
yeah, it's fun. Empire Toy Works is definitely an inspiration, but I always wanted to do my own thing, and I think the Outpost, I think it does it well. I love Empire. I love what he's doing. I follow him closely, but I'm gonna do my thing too.
No doubt, no doubt. But no, yeah, both you guys do like amazing work. It was awesome to have you on the show. But I do want to do my creator shout outs tonight. I've got go on Instagram, check this guy out. He does like very
He's like, guys, shut up now. It's me. Let's go.
yeah, basically,
Just say that.
yeah,
He's so nice.
yeah. Watch you set Wastelander.
What you said, maybe.
What you
Wow.
said. What you said. But he does these like really cool, like dystopian kind of like backgrounds, computers. You can tell he's like really heavily like influenced by Fallout for sure, which I thought was pretty awesome. So yeah, head over to Instagram and check him out. And then the next one was Famine's idea. So this thing's crazy.
Oh shit!
Yeah. like I don't even think that's supposed to be a Purgle. I think that's from a one of those tabletop adventure games.
Yeah, it's
But-
miniatures. Yeah.
What scale is
Holy
that?
shit, it's got to be
It's-
132 or something.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
That's
baby.
nuts.
But that's insane. Like that's the type of stuff that I dig. Like when I made that Pentaceratops and I put that canopy on the top of it, that was kind of like in my head of like, okay, this could be a thing that somebody could lay down on the top of and sleep, and they sell their shit from underneath it. But that's like a whole different level of like, okay, here's this mega beast, and we've got a temple built on its back, and people with Ahsoka being out, Rebels being out, and people talking about Purgles again. That find that model maker, see where they tag, but you could print that out and make a Purgle and maybe put something neat on it.
That reminds me of that crazy big like dinosaur you and Josh had a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about building like a Ewok village on the back of it or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, they heard you talking about that, and both dinosaurs walked away. So
I think, dude, Famine. I think I can score the new Brachiosaurus for like almost around $55.
Huh.
Because I got a gift card. I'm so stupid. I have a gift card, and they're 25% off right now.
bro, how often am I like, oh, I also like to save on coupons and
Yeah.
cut.
That's
Why
why
are
I'm
you
telling
even
you.
on the show right now?
That's
You
why
should be going to buy that.
I
No,
am
I
a
was
slut for
excited.
savings. You
I was
should- you
excited
should
to
pick
tell
that up,
you.
though.
I know. I
think
thought
you
it was.
should.
I was like,
And
man, but what's the difference though? It just articulates a little bit more, right?
It's not a little bit more. The neck is real feel skin. It has a full range of articulation in the neck. The feet have articulation. The toes, the ankles, I guess, of those giant beasts. There's a lot more articulation.
So
in it.
steep though, man. $84 is so steep.
Oh, that's like 1,000 Canadian dollars.
Yeah, that's
Canadian.
at least 3 mooses and 1 maple syrup. That's rough, man.
That's a lot of. Don't you guys use tokens? I don't know.
Dude,
Hey,
no,
can
that's like
What?
six beaver pelts and a bear pelt.
Can I talk about some customs I did real quick? I didn't get to
Yeah,
do
sure.
my weekly thing. They're
There we go.
fucking you motherfucker. All right, so I'm doing a trade with my brother Famine, and I did some customs for his world. This was just a simple like samurai. They're just some Amarakians I'm sending his way.
It's a fucking pike assassin. That's what that is right there. You're sending him to kill me, aren't
Yeah.
I just did a little bit of soft good just because it.
I totally
Because-
would send someone to kill you.
This I don't know what's going on, but I got a pilot body from Halo, and then this crazy head, and I blew his eye out and made it like blue back there. So maybe he's cyborg because he looks kind of creepy.
He looks like the lead
so-
singer of Linkin Park.
Stop it, dude.
Chester
R.I.P.
Bennington missing.
And then
out.
my favorite piece. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen. I did like a 6-inch Bad Batch droid, clone droid, but I kind of did like an Amarak style with some robot legs. So he's kind of like doesn't articulate at all, but his legs do.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
but
Yeah, I'm excited
so
for
we got
that
the
guy.
white shoes. I did some Amarak, which is shore trooper colors, pretty much.
He could just it looks like
And then the backpack.
I like that he's got
blacked
the
out.
J's on.
yeah, man, that's
His
dope.
his big robot feet. I
He
got
just,
some
like,
chrome.
Stomp a mud.
But yeah,
hole.
so he doesn't really articulate much except for his like legs. So they articulate a bunch because of the robot. So he didn't have any articulation, and I don't know. But yeah, he can barely hold a gun, but he's still cool looking. But he has a
think he's
lot of
dope.
this. He has some of the same look as the one I did in 6-inch scale years ago. Anywho, and then for Eddie, I'm doing a Morphonauts. Shout out to Morphonauts. Doing a Michelangelo. Still just base colors right now. I had to resculpt.
Cowabunga, dude.
I resculpted with some epoxy the headband because I busted it off last night. So
I got to see him bust it off, and I got to tell you, kids, that was certainly something worth the OnlyFans. That's I say subscribe to Josh's OnlyFans. It's worth the $12.99.
but yeah. So anyway, I did a black on everything, and then I just been dry brushing them up. So we got 2 different greens so far. I got about 4 greens I'm gonna use. So but yeah, so we're working on that. He looks so. They look so mean, man. Sorry. That's all.
They're teenagers. Teenagers are mean.
And with attitude.
I don't like the looks of those teenagers. But
I'm
hey,
saying.
I think that's it, man. I think we won world building tonight. Is that a
Don't say
profile?
Fuck
that.
yeah, we did.
That's so stupid.
Thank you,
Hey,
Don. Thank you, Yak.
Yeah, that was fun. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Dystoypian.
He's got
Can
something.
I,
He's excited.
Yeah, I want to show something off. I got reminded
Yeah.
by Joel.
Cut the feed.
So this is Oh, let me get it in the.
Oh yeah, man, I forgot about that.
Hell yeah.
So that was commissioned by Joel Williamson's son. You can find him on Instagram, artwork _ Van _ Williamson, I think. I can also share on my page if people want to track him down, but he does commissions, and this was sort of like a surprise where I just kind of told him what I wanted. I was like, just go nuts. I want to be surprised. I want to open it in the mail and not know what I'm getting. And he knocked it out of the park. So this is going to be kind of like not like a logo, but more like a motif around the station. I kind of want to use it on like posters or graffiti. So just wanted to show that.
Yeah, it looks rad.
Give him
That's
a shout
cool.
out.
That's cool as hell, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
so when are you doing the giveaway thing today?
Ooh, you're talking to me.
Did
Yeah,
you not
you.
listen to the instructions at the beginning?
So
of the
for
show?
everybody that was paying attention,
I'll set him up. Is that
knows what's going on, but for Wenzilla's benefit, I'll explain it. So they were. I put a question out on Instagram, and they were supposed to come here and post the answer in the comments. So they did. So there's bonuses. The first person gets extra entries in the draw, and then the next 5 people do. And then all you have to do tonight is go to the comments section, put in the answer to the question, which was what was the featured vehicle in my very first YouTube video ever on the channel, which was a Jawa AT-AT. And all you have to do is do that. And I'm going to do the draw this week, and we will announce next Friday
Nice.
who's going to win the stuff, because that's what YouTubers do. We have to draw people back to the show every single
Yeah.
week. So, and you
High
also
five, Famine.
That was for
Oh,
3,000
dude.
subscribers.
yeah, that was 3,000 subs. So
Nice.
Wait,
I'm
don't know
gonna
what-
hit 3,000 at Instagram and like 50 more subscribers. I should do a giveaway.
oh, there you go.
oh
Yeah, I've only got like 1,000 followers on Instagram. I was late to the game though.
no, this
What are these?
the other way. This way, Famine.
Brady Blunt bunch thing here. You're like looking up.
Famine, come on, do it,
I'm
Famine.
not doing it.
Please do it.
Speaking of followers and high, follow counts, I am almost to 1,000. If you guys are not
I'll do
subscribed
it.
and you just joined the channel, please go ahead and jump over to Famine Studios, click the like button, give it a thumbs up. I promise nobody will be trying to high five in this video. I would be embarrassed. These are grown ups. It's not the toy collecting that bothers people. It's this shit right here.
I'm sorry,
Don't forget
fam.
to comment, like, and subscribe.
It's fine. It's only my livelihood outside of my job. It's fine.
But yeah, so to make up for me and Josh being dicks, you guys all have to go watch Famine's video next week.
You have
What's
to-
that?
There's only
just
10
like
likes on
Get
this
fucked and
video.
Leave me alone.
People need to like this video.
People also do need to like this video while they're here because
There's only 10.
Go subscribe to the Patreon. Go to Josh's post and give like weird emojis like eggplants and stuff. That's always fun for him.
I don't mind. I don't mind at all.
He loves egg.
purple potato.
I don't love it. Jesus, man.
I heard you love it.
That's awesome. All right, I want to thank first and foremost. I want to thank
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Not a problem, dude.
Mike.
Anytime.
Thanks
Keep
for
my
being-
PayPal open.
Yeah. I want to thank everybody that came out the chat, especially the Patreons. Yeah, we're going to be just keeping on doing this stuff. Tune in next week for the giveaway, and Josh is going to take us out of here.
Get your titties sucked.
Jesus.
That was my best